What's up, Gooners? Before we start, smash that subscribe button because you're about to hear 3 massive stories that will blow your mind. And I'm not joking when I say the first one will shock you. Real Madrid have a new dream target at Arsenal after William Saliba rejected them, and you won't believe who it is. Arsenal are considering a £40 million replacement for Ben White, but does it even make sense? And Andrea Berta needs to sign AFCON's most impressive attacker who's absolutely perfect for Arsenal. Let's go. Gooners, hold on to your seats because this is wild. After William Saliba rejected Real Madrid and chose to sign a new Arsenal contract, Los Blancos have found their new dream target. And it's Declan Rice. According to Defensa Central, Florentino Perez loves Rice and would be absolutely delighted if he could land him for Real Madrid. The report claims that if there was one player from England the Galacticos president would like to sign, it's Rice, not Rodri from Manchester City. Rice. Think about that for a second. Real Madrid, the biggest club in world football, are dreaming about our midfielder. The guy we signed from West Ham for £105 million is now Real Madrid's #1 target. This all stems from last season's Champions League, when Arsenal absolutely demolished Real Madrid 5-1. Several players caught Perez's eye that night, and Rice was one of them. The way he dominated midfield, controlled the tempo, won every duel. Perez saw that and thought, I need this player. But here's the good news. Any move to recruit Arsenal's number 41 has been described as impossible because Mikel Arteta is completely opposed to his departure. That's not maybe or we'll see. That's impossible. Arteta will not let Rice go under any circumstances. Rice still has 2.5 years left on his contract at the Emirates, and Arsenal have an option to extend that by another 12 months. So technically, Arsenal control his future until 2029. But here's what Arsenal need to do immediately. Extend Rice's contract now. Not next year, not in 6 months. Now. Andrea Berta needs to have this at the top of his agenda because Rice is the best midfielder in the world right now. He would walk into any team, including Real Madrid. That's not Arsenal bias, that's just facts. We're sure Berta already has this on his list, and we expect this deal to be wrapped up before the end of this season. Because if Real Madrid are circling, Arsenal need to shut that door permanently with a new long-term contract. David Moyes was right when he said Arsenal got Rice too cheaply. £105 million is starting to look like an absolute bargain. And if Real Madrid come knocking with a £200 million offer, Arsenal need to be able to laugh and say, he just signed a new 6-year deal. Not happening. Rice to Real Madrid? Over Arteta's dead body. And ours too. This man is irreplaceable. Now let's talk about Ben White's situation because Arsenal are reportedly considering a £40 million replacement. But when you hear the details, you'll realise this makes absolutely no sense. White is currently out of favour under Arteta having lost his place to Jurrien Timber at right back. The arrivals and performances of Piero Hincapié and Christian Mosquera have pushed him down the pecking order at centre-half too. According to reports, Arsenal are keeping tabs on Tino Livramento's situation at Newcastle. The Gunners see Livramento as an ideal candidate to come in and replace White should the former Brighton star look to leave. Arteta is said to be a fan of the Newcastle and England international, while Livramento's ability to play both fullback positions appeals to Arsenal. Newcastle paid around £40 million to land him from Southampton back in 2023, and he's gone from strength to strength under Eddie Howe. But here's where this story falls apart. This deal makes no sense for anyone involved. For Newcastle, they lose a player who's vital to Eddie Howe and improving all the time. Why would they sell? For Livramento himself, he effectively moves to a title contender but knows he isn't going to be first choice behind Timber. So he's swapping regular football at Newcastle for bench time at Arsenal. Why would he accept that? And for Arsenal, it's another big outlay, £40 million, for another defender they frankly don't need at the moment. Arsenal already have Timber, Hincapié, Mosquera and even Miles Lewis-Skelly, who can cover right back. Do we really need a fifth option? Sure, if White leaves, then there might be a space in the squad to fill, but even then, Arsenal have enough young talent to cope and could invest elsewhere. Like an attack where we actually need reinforcements. This feels like agent talk designed to get Livramento a new contract at Newcastle or to put pressure on Arsenal regarding White's situation. I don't see this happening unless White forces a move, and even then, £40 million for a backup feels excessive. Arsenal's priority should be keeping White happy and finding a way to rotate him into the team more. Not spending 40 million on his replacement when we've got other areas that need strengthening. All right, Gooners, now we're talking. Forget everything else. This is the signing Andrea Berta needs to prioritise for summer 2026. Yan Diomande. The 18-year-old Ivorian winger is continuing to prove why he's one of Europe's most exciting players at AFCON, and Arsenal need to sign him before someone else does. In 2026, Berta has plans to sign another attacker, with a left winger the most likely position to be upgraded. Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard have been excellent this season, but given concerns over Martinelli's inconsistencies and Trossard's age, an upgrade is expected. Diomande should be at the top of Berta's list after his performances at AFCON. The teenager has taken the Bundesliga by storm this season, registering 6 goals and 3 assists in 14 matches for RB Leipzig. Diomande only turned pro back in January 2025. Let me repeat that. He only turned professional 11 months ago, and he's already scoring and assisting in the Bundesliga and shining at AFCON. That's ridiculous. He netted his first goal of the competition in a 3-0 win over Burkina Faso to help fire Ivory Coast into the quarter-finals. During that game, Diomande demonstrated his immense quality with 4 created chances, 6 dribbles, 84% pass accuracy, and 6 ball recoveries. Those are world-class numbers for an 18-year-old in a major international tournament. This kid is the real deal. Arsenal Insider understands that Arsenal are in the race for Diomande, and it will be fascinating to see how he features in transfer plans for next summer. But honestly, Arsenal need to be all in on this one. Diomande's arrival would likely mark the end of Martinelli's time at the club, following talk that he could have departed last summer. And you know what? If it means getting a player of Diomande's potential, that might be the right call. The article also mentions that Arsenal suffered a blow with Kenan Yildiz close to signing a new Juventus contract. But the good news is Bradley Barcola at PSG could be made available next summer, given he's unhappy with his situation. So Arsenal have options: Diomande, Barcola, potentially others. But Diomande feels like the one. 18 years old, already performing at an elite level, lightning fast, technically gifted, and showing up on the biggest stages. Berta needs to move fast on this before Liverpool, Chelsea, or City swoop in. Because mark my words, Gooners, Yan Diomande is going to be a superstar. Arsenal need to make sure he's our superstar. What do you think, Gooners? Would you ever sell Rice to Real Madrid? Does the Livramento move make sense? And is Diomande the signing of the summer? Drop your comments below right now. If you enjoyed this video, destroy that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, because we're bringing you Arsenal news every single day. Until next time, Gooners, come on you Gunners!